Hi there, and thank you for tuning in to the Social Circus, where every week we dive into a variety of topics covering social media, mindset, and how to run your business. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 158 of the Social Circus. Now, I'm your host, Sarah Thompson, and each and every week I bring you updates from the digital landscape, interviews with some really interesting business owners to hear about their journey and what is their zone of genius. And today I'm doing a solo episode, and I'm going to be talking to you about a platform that I am going to be dabbling in called Substack. Now, if you are sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, is this another social media platform? Please don't tell me Sarah is going to ask me to do something else. I literally cannot fit anything else on my plate. What I'm trying to do is introduce you to something that may be an avenue for you to try, something that you're already doing in your business. And what is my hope is that if we have information and knowledge, we can make informed decisions about whether or not we think our business should be on Substack. And that's the purpose of today's podcast. I'm going to be talking to you about the platform Substack, what and how it's being used, and how you might be able to use it in your business. So please stay tuned. Don't tune off because you're like, I can't do this. I really want to encourage you to be open to learning new things and be open to a new platform that might be just what you and your business are looking for. Now, if you haven't heard of Substack, you might be thinking, oh, is it really new? Is it something that's just popped up in the world? And here's what I want to share with you. Substack was actually launched in 2017, so it's been around for a wee while, and it is actually it was sort of founded by some sort of tech dudes, obviously out of California, and one of the founders, Chris Best, is now still the CEO of that company, and so. As owners, they have quite a big say in what they're doing with the platform. It is privately owned, which is really unusual for our kind of digital companies. They often get listed, and then they have lots of public interest. And here's a little fun fact that I thought I would share with you. In April 2023, Elon Musk actually spoke to Substack about purchasing the platform. But mercifully, the proposal was not accepted, and so Substack remains a privately owned company. And I have to say, in the world of companies where we have Meta, who owns sort of half of the social media platforms that we use, and we have huge juggernaut companies like Apple and Google, or Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, those big companies, and of course we have Microsoft, who own all of Microsoft, and it's really exciting to see a platform that's independent. And that's one of the reasons I want to talk to you about Substack, is because for many of us, it doesn't align with our bigger values to have to be on platforms that we don't believe are in the social interests or just don't really roll with how we want to view the world. And so this is one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you about Substack, because there are alternatives. You can still run a business and have a light touch on social media. And this is why I really want to talk to you about Substack, because first and foremost, it is a privately owned company. Now, obviously, we're talking right now about 2025. So it started almost a decade ago. And here's what I want you to know about the platform. So I'm going to read you a little description of how they describe it. Substack is a platform for independent writers and creators, allowing them to publish newsletters and earn money through subscriptions. The platform has over 20 million monthly active subscribers, with over 2 million being paid subscribers. So what's really, really interesting about that is that it is an opportunity if you want to be a writer. And what I mean by that is you might want to publish a whole book. And look, you can certainly do that behind a paid subscription service on Substack. But to me, because I've been in business a long time, Substack gives me all the feels of blogging. Okay. So if you've been around for let's talk well over a decade, blogging used to be done on WordPress. WordPress used to have very great blogging interfaces. Before it was really a content management system for websites, WordPress was all about blogging. And blogging, if you're not aware, the mummy bloggers were the original influencers. So blogging has been around and really allowed people to create careers that has allowed them to move forward. Now, what's really interesting in this world of AI and everything being written by AI, is there a place for people to publish what they have written and for people to pay to hear what that is. And Substack tells us that yes, there are, because 10% of the people on that platform pay to subscribe to someone's content. And so that really says that people are interested in what content people are sharing. And as someone who has a Substack, I can actually set the price on what people pay. So I get to determine what currency I might charge it in and how much I might charge. I also get to determine, for example, like who can see what content, whether you're a paid or free subscriber. I can also set it that maybe only paid subscribers can leave comments. So there are lots of opportunities for you to monetize your business, particularly if you're interested in writing. And that's why I really wanted to talk about Substack, because for many of us, I know that my girlfriends and I think there's about 3 or 4 of us, are all trying to write a book this year. And if I can be really frank and say, I'm not doing well at that. And a couple of my friends are doing better. And so I'm going to do a 30-day Substack challenge. So when this episode comes out next week on Wednesday, fingers crossed, I have started my Substack and I am a few days into my writing challenge. So what I've decided to do is write every day for 30 days. Now, I am going to share those results with you in a follow-up podcast because I want you to see what is possible. Because I know that without exception, every single business owner I speak to, where they want to come to me for coaching or they join one of my courses, they are exhausted by social media. The energy that it takes to create content, even if you're outsourcing the social media part, you still need to create like your B-roll video footage. There is still work to be done for you as a business owner. And AI absolutely has made that easier, but it's still onerous. It's not there yet where you can't just plug into ChatGPT. Here's my content, go to Canva, find some images, make an image, use my scheduling tool, schedule it all out. Look, I'm hopeful that in the future that will be there, but we're not there yet. And so social media is a huge task for us. It takes a lot of energy and effort. Now, with Substack, I'm posting daily because I want to see what results it gets. But you are able to post, and by post, I mean create. They don't call it blogs because they call it a post, but it is a blog because you have to have content of a certain length to obviously allow people to read and consume it. So here's what I want you to think about when it comes to Substack. And I want to put a kind of caveat on this episode and say something. I am brand sparkling new to Substack. It is something that I'm a very big reader, and I've got a couple of friends who are published authors who use Substack that have a huge following. I'm going to see if I can get those ladies on to talk about their Substack because both of them have thousands of followers and have monetized their Substack. So watch this space because I'm hopeful I might be able to get them on to chat about it. But what I really want to do is let you see my journey, because I know that for many of you, you look at me and I have all of this marketing experience. I have loads of qualifications and I've been running a business for well over a decade. And so it's very easy for me to sit in a space of being very experienced at something. And so what I want you to do is come on this journey with me. I am brand sparkling new onto Substack. I have been on Substack for several months, if I'm really honest, just to follow some authors and their content. And to see what that's all about. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know how to use it. Okay, so I'm being very transparent. And I want to encourage you to come on this journey with me. So whether you sign up for Substack simply to subscribe to my Substack, which is free, I haven't made it paid because I don't know what I'm doing yet. So that seems slightly rude to charge people to be part of my journey of discovery. But I want you to come on and have a little play with it, because I always say to people, no matter what the platform is, you need to try it out. You need to have a go at it. You need to jump on the platform and try it out without being under the public eye. And by that, I mean, like if I join as Online Social Butterfly, everyone knows who I am and everyone knows that I have lots of experience. And so there's an expectation that I have to show up in a certain way. And what I'm going to do with my 30-day Substack challenge is I'm going to just have a go at writing. I'm going to call it a blog every single day. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. Now, I loved blogging in years gone by. I've always really enjoyed it. I have plenty to say, verbally and in the written context. So I'm really keen to give this a try to see what happens. And I want you to come on this journey with me, because in 30 days, I'm going to do a follow-up podcast to let you know what my results have been. so that you can kind of go, well, maybe this is something I could do. Maybe this is something I could try that would help me connect with a completely different audience in a really different way. Now, with Substack, I gave you a little bit of statistics on how many people are using the platform. And yes, 20 million is still incredibly niche when we think about platforms like TikTok that have like a billion monthly active users. It is significantly smaller. But here's the thing, you have an opportunity right now to get in on a platform while it's still in its infancy, and you can learn how to use it without all eyes on you. Like I'm on TikTok. Full disclosure, I do a terrible job of it. I don't have the bandwidth. My VA just puts reels up that we put on our other account, and it's going okay, but I'm not killing it, and I probably never will because I don't have a big interest in it. It doesn't float my boat. I think as a mum of teenage boys, not a lover of TikTok, and I get it's a business tool, but I'm not doing that great. So what I want to say is with Substack, here's what I want you to know about it right now. It's very small, but it's getting momentum. Okay. So it is growing and growing. And I actually have asked, because you all know I love ChatGPT, and I've used Chatty to help me with my Substack account because I have no expertise in the olden days, like 5 years ago. I would have bought a course on Substack so I could learn how to use it. So I said to Chatty, I started a conversation and said, I want to set up a Substack account. I need your help with all the things. Let's get started. And so we started by giving my Substack a name. And many of you will know inside my business, I have a mastermind called Digital Queens Mastermind. I love the term digital queens. It floats my boat, makes me very happy. So I said to ChatGPT, I love the term digital queens. I'd like to have a play with that and come up for a name with my Substack. So we have called it Digital Queens Dispatch. And again, I'm creative and I'm in marketing, but it would have taken me a really long time to come up with that name. And so I got AI to help me create a name for it. I got it to help me set up my account, write my bio. And it's going to be my right hand lady. I'm conscious that we give things genders and they're always male. It's going to be my right hand with writing my daily blogs. Now, like a purist could say I'm going to be cheating, but I want to say that I have uploaded enough documents with ChatGPT. I've uploaded academic writing. So like when I was doing my master's, I've uploaded some of that. I've uploaded so much of my own copy, like my own text. It knows my brand voice. And I'm going to give it each day stories that are prompts for it. And I'm going to get it to help me write my daily blog. Now, is that cheating? Maybe. Is it going to help me to show up consistently and for you to get closer and understand me? Absolutely. So full disclosure, I am going to be using AI to help me with my daily blogs, but I also know that when I write with it, it sounds like me, and I'm going to give it stories that are relevant to my personal circumstances. So you're not just reading generic guff. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about that in the interest of transparency and openness, because I'm going to be doing a 30-day challenge, but I'm not going to be writing solo. I'm going to be writing with my BFF, Chatty. Okay, so we're going to be doing it together. Now, how do you know if Substack is going to be right for you? Now, remember I said to you, it's somewhere between a newsletter that you might send through a platform like MailerLite or MailChimp and blog style content that once upon a time it would have sat on our website. But now we can put it behind a paywall or make people subscribe to us to allow us to generate an income from our content. And that's the key difference, is that paywall. So it's kind of like Patreon meets MailChimp meets a blog. Now, I don't know how to better describe it, but if you have a podcast, sometimes you can have it behind a paywall, and that's using a platform called Patreon. So there are lots of ways to monetize different parts of your business, and I want to expose you to the opportunity to monetize your writing, okay? So people who are currently using Substack are obviously our writers, our journalists, if they still exist in the world, and people like myself who are coaches, maybe creatives, educators, therapists. The full spectrum of different types of businesses are using Substack. And the reason that we're using it is because often we're a personal brand. So this means that people want to have a deeper connection with me as my audience. And we're also seeing the rise in people who are thought leaders and possibly even micro influencers in their niche using Substack to put forward their ideas. Now, if you are already doing a blog in your business that goes on your website, if you're already writing articles on LinkedIn, or if you're sending a newsletter that has a lot of original thought in it, you are doing all the things that are required for you to set up a Substack. So the good news is you don't necessarily need to be adding any more work to your kind of workload if you're already doing that. So you can go and try Substack out and have a little go at that. So as I mentioned, you can use it like a newsletter. So you can have subscribers and send them updates. You can do that weekly or however often that floats your boat. You can put it behind a paywall so there's paid premium content. You can do things like personal essays. And I kind of did think about that because anyone who knows me IRLs in real life, I'm a very opinionated human being and I have a lot to say, particularly about international politics. And it would be super fun to have a Substack that was anonymous where I could tell you the world according to Sarah in international politics, because I have a lot to say about that. But I absolutely can't say it in my business because I will polarize my audience. And I don't want to do that because I don't believe it's important what my politics are to your politics. We can still work together. Okay. So that was kind of something I was like, oh, that would be fun to have a personal Substack with my own thoughts on the world. But here's what I want you to think about with Substack. You can use your own email list. So you can upload your own email list. And when you have a Substack, when people subscribe to it, those people who subscribed are your subscribers to download anytime. So you're actually growing your email list with a Substack, and you know how I love that. You can create a community so your subscribers and readers can comment and interact just like they would on a blog. It has got, and I must say this because as a user I've enjoyed this, it's got a really nice, clean, minimalist design. It also has an app, so we like that because we're always on our phones. It's very easy to monetize. So it's very easy to make it, like I could have made it from the get-go a paid Substack. And I might add a paid Substack, but I'll let you know after the 30 days how I'm going to go. All right. So I want you to think about, as a small business owner, how would you use Substack for your business? So thinking about what do you have to say, and particularly when it comes to your personal brand, are there topics that you would like to be talking about in more depth in your industry or in your niche that would allow you to build that connection and trust with your audience? That's what I want you to think about. And then I want you to think about sharing your own journey or behind the scenes or your lessons. Those are incredibly helpful. And then you can actually scale it up to have paid content. And you could even replace your traditional email marketing. I have to say, when I saw that come up in a website that I was reading a blog on about Substack, my heart did a little flutter because I love my email marketing and I want to make sure it's on a platform that I have access to and not someone else's platform. So I felt a little bit awkward, but I want to share that as an idea with you. So one of the things about Substack that is exciting is that it's, from a technical perspective, really simple. If you think about how easy it is to set up an account on any social media platform, it's pretty much the same. You need your email address, you need to upload a photo, give it a few bits of information. And like I said, I used ChatGPT to help me set up my Substack account. I told it what I was hoping to do. It already knows my writing style and it gave me all of the tips, like this is what you should put in this section, this is what you should put here. So I did not have to have any expertise to set up my Substack account. And look, I'm absolutely willing in 30 days to say, well, I learned a few things that weren't exactly what I wanted, but I'm there and my presence looks good and it looks professional and I'm excited to move forward. So one of the things I will be looking at trialing in the future, and it will not be this year, is looking at Substack for my podcast. So like I said, my friends who are authors have a podcast that is exclusively on Substack. And I've got like 3,000 subscribers to it. So it is definitely an alternative because it will host your podcast and obviously email your subscribers when a new episode comes out. And that means my email marketing doesn't get clogged up with, hi, there's a new podcast episode out, which I have to do every single week. So there are lots of different ways that you can use it. But here's what I want you to think about. Substack is really about connecting with your community, and writing those daily or weekly or whatever it's going to be posts is really a way of sending more information to build that connection, like a love letter to your community. And I want you to think it like that, but also think that it can actually pay your bills. And that's kind of exciting. If people value your content, they're willing to be a paid subscriber. Now, we know with lots of platforms like YouTube, you can monetize your account, but you have to have a huge following to do that. With Substack, I can set up my account from day one and have it as a paid subscription. Obviously, I probably have an audience outside of the Substack world, but I want to kind of share that with you. So, um, it probably won't replace my email marketing or my content strategy, but what I'm hoping it's going to do is allow me to write and think regularly, which is my intention to do a 30-day Substack challenge. And what I would like to learn is Substack something that would be an option for me to keep going with? So I'm going to use it to talk in depth about things that I find myself talking about a lot when I'm coaching with people. So my, if I want to give myself one, my official title is digital business coach. It's because I work with digital products and digital marketing. And when I introduce myself, sometimes people have no idea what that means. And that's fine for people who are like my mum's age. But when people are my peers or I meet them at a networking event, it's hard to have to describe that. So I'm actually going to use my Substack to talk about things like digital products, having a digital business, what the customer journey looks like, because I'm really passionate about people being able to build a business around digital products. And I would like to share my knowledge. So I'm actually going to use my Substack to do that. I'm going to talk about digital products. I'm going to talk about how do we build a suite of products and how do different ideas fit in, because this is something I find myself describing all the time. And it would actually be lovely to have a reference to say, look, if you go and look at my Substack, I've talked about all of these things and I think you'll really enjoy it because you can consume it in your own time and really kind of have a little bit of fun with it. So, here's what I would love for you to think about. I would love you to think about, are you going to come and join me on Substack and have a little play? Remember, you can join as a person and not create a Substack and just be a subscriber, which is what I am currently. I don't have a Substack and I don't have subscribers, but I am on Substack so I can follow other people. So my first task, which fingers crossed will happen before it comes out, is I will have set up my Substack. It's going to be called Digital Queens Dispatch. The link will be in the show notes so you can come and follow me. And then I want you to follow along with me and I want you to have a little play on the platform, because right now, none of your audience are watching you. You can have a little bit of fun. You can go and find people that you're interested in. You can have a little look at what content might be interesting for your audience. You can have a think about what would you like to talk about in your industry that might add to the conversation to make you like a thought leader or to kind of push the boundaries a little bit. So that's what my challenge for you is going to be all about. Now, as I said, I am going to be doing a 30-day challenge and I'm going to pop back in and share with you, how did I go? So did I think it was worth my time? And also, did I enjoy it? Because we want to do things in our business that we enjoy. Did I enjoy it? Was it worth my time? Am I going to monetize it? Am I thinking about putting my podcast? In 30 days' time, I'm going to do another podcast to share those thoughts with you. And I'm really happy to report the honest truth. Like if I found it exhausting, even using AI to create daily content, I'm going to be transparent about that. If I really loved it and I've found a new rhythm for myself, I will share that. If I got to the end of 30 days and had 2 subscribers and it was a monumental fail, I will tell you it, warts and all. So my invitation to you from today's podcast is to come and join me on Substack, to join me in this 30-day adventure and to see what we learn along the way. As I said, I have at least 2 more podcasts coming. One is to interview my friends who are authors who have a really well-established Substack. And then I'll be coming back in 30 days to tell you about how my journey is going and what does that look and feel like. So I hope after listening to today's episode, I've opened your eyes to a new platform. Hopefully it doesn't feel too terrifying and you're not feeling like I have to do this. As I said, it is very niche right now. There is only 20 million people on it. Compared to our big kids, it's really, really small, but it's independently and privately owned. So it's not owned by Meta or Elon Musk, which can be very appealing. We can connect with our audience and create community. Now, all of these things kind of light me up and I feel excited, but can I be really honest? I feel a little bit scared because I'm telling you all I'm going to show up for 30 days and now I kind of have to. And I am not always great at being consistent. Okay. I'm just going to say it out there. I use a lot of systems and tools in my business to allow me to show up consistently. Most of it involves me planning ahead. Now, in the next 30 days, I'm also going to be going on holidays, and I like to take time off on holidays. So I'm going to see how I go, because you can schedule your Substack to have it published on a certain date and time. So I'm going to trial that feature to see how it goes. So I'm going to be diving in, playing around in the sandpit, seeing what a big mess I make, and hopefully having some fun and learning things along the way. And I want you to come along and join me. So I hope you've loved today's episode. I hope you're excited to come and join me on Substack. Remember, I think you can just search it. It's going to be called Digital Queen Dispatch. So you could search it by that or search it by my name, Sarah Thompson. But the link for it will be in my show notes. I would love to have you follow me. Send me a message and say, hey, I listened to your podcast. I'm following you on Substack. I'm here for the ride, and strap yourself in, because I'm going to keep you posted on how it's all progressing. So as always, thank you for listening to The Social Circus. I look forward to connecting with you on Substack and sharing my 30-day journey with you all. Until next week, have a great week. Thanks so much for tuning in to The Social Circus. As your host, Sarah Thompson, I am thrilled that you've chosen to spend your time hanging out with me. I would be so grateful if you could spare an extra moment to go and leave me a review on your favorite podcasting platform. And if you even felt more excited, you could share my podcast with your friends who you think would get great value from it. Thanks so much again for tuning in.